Yo guys, what's going on? Got a Garurumon X antibody deck profile for you guys for the BT9 format. This is probably the first blue deck I've posted on my channel, I think, in a really long time. At least I'm getting the feeling like it's probably one of the only ones I've really enjoyed because it plays a lot to me like All Force, where you're just basically swinging at your opponent's security like a ton of times in a turn. This deck can truly OTK take you from 5 to death in a single turn. So I'll kind of show you guys the setup, combos, whatever, and talk about the card choices in the deck. So let's go ahead and get into it. For the eggs, just clean and simple, just playing the 4 copies of the BT5 Tsunamon. This is just giving your Garurumon or Omnimon plus 1000 DP. You don't really need anything fancy. You've got draw power in other forms, so this is enough just to make sure that your stack survives. So for the other Digimon, for the level 3s, of course, just playing a bunch of Gabus, so being able to play the Searcher Gabu is definitely nice, being able to search out any of your Garurumons, including the X antibodies, as well as your Omnimon for game. Playing 4 of the EX1 Gabumon to be able to search out other Gabus, such as Gabu X Antibody, perhaps any of your Tamer cards like Cool Boy, so that's definitely nice as well. And then, of course, the 4 copies of the Gabumon X Antibody. So this one Digivolving or on play, so either or, you get to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and add a Garurumon or an Omnimon, and then 1 X Antibody amongst those. Keep in mind that is the X Antibody option card. It does not say a Digimon with X Antibody in the traits, specifically referring to the option card. So this is really nice, not only because it's an on play, but also the on Digivolve, so being able to like hard play a Searcher, reveal 3, add 1, Digivolve it for 0, reveal 3, add 1, trigger Cool Boy, gain a memory, draw 1 is really nice. So this deck can accumulate advantage pretty quickly, and it's really overall consistent. This is also nice for being able to synergize with the Garurumon X. There's a lot of times when with Garurumon X you get detached to Digimon with the same level to be able to save your stack from battle. So having Gabumon over Gabumon X, being able to detach these, and then the Garurumon stack, or maybe where a Garurumon stack is really nice, being able to save yourself multiple times is definitely important. So that's going to do it for the level 3 lineup, just 12 of them. For the level 4s, playing probably the best Garurumon is going to be 4 copies of the promo Garurumon. This one has the effect of when attacking, if this Digimon has Garurumon in its name, trigger draw 1. Of course, the crazy thing about this is that it is not once per turn, so being able to resolve this multiple times, being able to draw 3-4 cards every single turn is really crazy. When you do your big combo, you are going to be drawing a lot of cards. And then for the other Garurus, playing 3 copies of the BT5. This one is good for a couple reasons. Of course, being able to Digivolve for 1 is really nice. Being able to gain a memory whenever you've got Gabumon in the Digivolution cards is pretty sick. Now, I do want to mention, this does specifically refer to Gabumon. If you've only got Gabumon X Antibody, like let's say you hard played this for 3, and then you're going to Digivolve this for 2, you will not gain the memory back off of this effect. But if you've got, let's say, Gabu X Antibody and then Digivolve this, since you've got Gabumon in the stack, you will gain the memory off of that interaction. So just want to point that out. And then for the other level 4s, playing the 4 copies of the Garurumon X Antibody. This guy is really nice because he's got the, of course, condition where you can Digivolve for 0 from Garurumon, but then when this Digimon has Garurumon or Omnimon in his name and would be deleted in battle, you may trash 2 cards of the same level in its Digivolution cards to prevent that deletion. So being able to have like a Garurumon X and then go into your Warrior Garurumon promo that's going to be swinging for security and having the protection from battle is really essential. Of course, you're always pretty much going to be at 7,000 thanks to the egg, but sometimes you are going to want the protection from battle regardless. And then lastly, just hybrid for game Lobomon I still think is really important for this format. And then for the level 5s, just playing a simple lineup of 4 copies of the promo Were Garurumon, as well as 4 copies of Were Garurumon X. So promo Were Garurumon, this guy has the effect of once per turn when attacking, if this guy has Digivolution, a Garurumon Digivolution card, you can unsuspend this Digimon. So you're effectively swinging twice with this. And he's also got the really crazy inherited effect of if you've got 8 or more cards in hand, this Digimon gains security attack +1. Like I said, when you're resolving your combo, you're typically going to have that. So when you go ahead and swing, you're going to swing, Digivolve into Garurumon X antibody, and then a Garurumon X's antibody. His effect will unsuspend the Garurumon, and then since now you've got this underneath, you've got the inherited of checking 2 cards. And then you can also bounce back a level 4 Digimon if you've got Garurumon underneath. So you're typically going to always evolve this over this. There's almost no reason to Digivolve this on top of your champion unless you just straight up do not have the other Garurumon. So that would be a pretty bad stack. But this deck, as opposed to something like the Greymon X antibody deck, is swinging typically pretty early. You're always going to be swinging with your Garurumon and then going into your level 6s after the fact. So that's going to do it for the level 5s. For the level 6s, just playing the 3 copies of the Garurumon X antibody, and then the 2 copies of the EX1 Metal Garurumon here. So the X antibody has the effect of one Digivolving. You unsuspend this Digimon, and then it gains blocker for the turn. So that's just a given. No matter what you have underneath the stack, you will always get that. So being able to unsuspend, of course, is really nice. And then during your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended, aka through his first effect, if it's got Metal Garurumon or X antibody underneath it, you can return all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level to their hands. So this is really powerful against one-stack decks if they're not playing around it. If they've got just like a 1 level 6 or level 7 on the field, this just bounces their Digimon to their field. It helps you against the Alphamon deck a lot, because even if they got something like Dora Greymon, they really can't protect from bouncing. And it synergizes really well with the Garurumon X, being able to first Digivolve this, bounce any level 4 or lower. So if they are playing around it, if they're aware of Metal Garurumon X, you can bounce their lower level Digimon with this first, and then gonna go ahead and go into the Metal Garurumon X, unsuspend it, and then bounce back their big threat that's on the field. So this guy's really crazy. I don't think you need more than 3 though. You're gonna draw into it pretty much always with your combo and with your searchability cards. And then the 2 Metal Garurumon here, this guy has 2 really crazy effects. So first of all, gain 1 memory for every 4 cards in your hand when Digivolving. So you're typically going to evolve this for 3 or less. There's been times in the games where I've had like 12 cards in my hand, so you're going to evolve it for effectively 1. Now, it doesn't get around memory blockers, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But again, like I said, you've got ways to bounce those cards back to your opponent's hand. And then when attacking, if you've got 8 or more cards in your hand and a Tamer in play, you can bottom deck a on deletion Digimon. So this is really good against Mastamon, things like Zwart Defeat. If they've got maybe any inheritance underneath the Mastamon, like a Demi Miramon or something, that's really good. And then just good against a lot of other one stack decks, things that you need to out. So being able to bottom deck things is always nice, but of course the main reason why he's broken is just being able to evolve for a really low cost. And then lastly, for the level 7 here, just got 1 copy of Omnimon to close out games. For the Tamers, we are playing 3 copies of Davis, 3 copies of Cool Boy. These 2 are self-explanatory. Davis is just a memory setter as well as a searcher card, being able to search any of your Digimon. Cool Boy is really nice because he gives you that extra advantage whenever you Digivolve into an X antibody Digimon with the same level as one of your Digimon. So that's really cool. And then of course on play you get to reveal 3 cards, add any of your X antibodies. So that could be Gabumon X, Garurumon X, Warguru X, as well as Metal Garurumon X, as well as your X antibody option card. So these 2 are very essential. And then for the other Tamers, kind of the more spicy tech, I am playing 2 copies of Matt and Sora. So if you don't know what this card does, it is a blue-red dual Tamer, which has the effect if you've got, at the start of your main phase, if you got 8 or more cards in your hand, gain 1 memory, and if your opponent has 8 or more cards, gain 1 memory. So typically when you've got 8 or more, you're always going to start with 4 maybe, or technically 5, I guess, perhaps if you got a Cool Boy, and then it punishes your opponent for playing, with a heavy hand. And then of course during your turn, when one of your blue or red Digimon becomes unsuspended, you may suspend this Tamer to bounce back one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon to the hand. So this, of course, works really well with both your Metal Garurumon X as well as your Garurumon, being able to, like, let's say you swing with your Garurumon promo, Digivolve this, unsuspend this, then you can trigger these, choose any order, maybe suspend this to bounce a level 3 back, suspend this, bounce a level 4, or even with the Metal Garurumon X, it works out really well, because if they got a wide board, you can Digivolve into this, trigger both of these, trigger this one first, bounce back their lower level, and then bounce back their higher level with this. So it helps you play around your opponent's field when they're playing around your cards. So Sora Matt I actually really like, and there is actually one more reason for me playing this card, because it is a red color card. We can actually play the one copy of Delicate Plane here. This is super spicy. This is just because I fear the security control matchups and any other deck that's playing a lot of one stack hate, because one stack OTK decks are all the rage of this format. So just having this is a nice insurance plan. 2 copies of the X antibody, of course, just it helps you with your main combo, swinging into your opponent's security and digivolving. And then lastly, just 1 copy of Metal Storm to be able to out big stacks. So guys, this is going to do it for the list. So let me go ahead and show you some of the combos that this deck can do, or the main way it OTKs. Okay guys, so here I have a stack of Garurumon cards. Now definitely doesn't need to be this exact stack, but this is kind of just to show you this is pretty much the best stack you could have, is to have your 2 rookies, 2 champions, as well as your Warrior Garurumon. This just lets you protect by battle multiple times in case you hit something big in security, but typically you're always going to have like one of these. You might have a stack like this, or you might have a stack like this, but just for the sake of demonstration, let's just say we've got this. Typically you're going to always like promote, or maybe if you're at 3, you're going to promote your Guru Digivolve into this. So let's just say you're at 3 for the sake of this demonstration. And then what you can do is you can go ahead and start swinging at your opponent's security. So you're going to go ahead and swing. You get to trigger, draw 1. So let's say we've got like a random card in our hand. This is our hand over here. And then you're going to unsuspend, of course, checking 1 security. And then what you can do is put your X antibody underneath your Garurumon. And you're typically going to want to hold that in case you die or something. You don't really need it until the second swing. But what you're going to do then is swing again, maybe draw another card off of that Garurumon. And then what you're going to do is trigger the X antibody effect to go ahead and Digivolve this into your Were Garurumon X. Of course, drawing off of the Digivolution. And then Were Garurumon X's effect will trigger. You can then unsuspend it, bounce back a level 4, and then you will be checking 2 security cards, so that's 4 security checks right there. And then you can go ahead, swing again since it's unsuspended, go ahead and draw another card, check your opponent's 5th security card, and then at this point what you can do is, if you started at 3 this turn, or maybe if you've got enough cards in hand, what you can do is go Metal Garurumon. So if you start at 3, you're typically always going to evolve this, and then this, or you could, if you had enough memory, maybe like Sora Matt or something, and you started at 5, you could go ahead and Digivolve this stack. So this one will always let you Digivolve for 4, but then you gain back the memory depending on how many cards in your hand. So at this point, let's say you've got like 12 cards in hand, or just 8 cards in hand, you're Digivolving for 2, Digivolving for 1, and then this card will unsuspend it, and then itself, and then you'll go ahead and swing for the last check. So that's a total of 3 memory off of, starting at 3 and having the Were Garurumon promoted. If you started at 3 and then you went to 0 with this, you're not going to be able to OTK this way, but it is possible if you had 1 more swing, you would be able to finish that out. You are also playing cards like Lobomon and Omnimon to be able to close out games as well. So if you didn't have maybe this, maybe you got the Metal Garurumon, you can evolve for like 1 and then go into an Omnimon, or maybe you've got a Davis on field, or you started at 5 because of the Dual Tamer, you can go into Lobomon and then swing for game with that. So that's typically how you're going to go from 5, get your opponent from 5 to 0. Of course, it doesn't always happen like that, but that's kind of like the ideal setup. There are a lot of other combos, that's kind of just the main one I wanted to talk about. Yeah, guys, that is going to do it for this one. Let me know what you think down in the comments below of my Garurumon X deck profile. Are you a big fan of the Garurumon strategy, or are you more of a fan of the Greymon X? But let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.